Okay everyone, hello and welcome to the last 3 looks 1 palette in the Oden's Eye Perfect World collection 3 looks 1 palette videos with the Planet Spirit palette in collaboration with Betty Jean or Battybean. I love Betty Jean. I watch so many of her videos. I love her as a creator. I love her makeup style. I love how she does makeup. So I was very happy to support her in this collab. This color story, I will say it at the end of the video. It's super bright, super fun, really good for summer actually, but for me, I would prefer a little bit more depth because all of these mattes are pretty much mid-tone and I like to have a little bit of depth in my shadows, or in my shadow looks. So I do pair this with a black in all 3 of the looks, but you could just not do that and have a little bit of a lighter and brighter look, or use a shadow that is a little bit deeper in tone. With this, if you want, if you don't like using black, whatever, it's just I wanted to use this palette without having to like bring in another palette necessarily, and I think probably everyone has a matte black in their collection. Any matte black will literally work. And yeah, I'll give my thoughts on the palette. Overall, I like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's nice. And if you want to see the 3 looks I create, keep on watching. Okay, hello. Am I in the middle? I hope I'm in the middle of the frame because my camera has hella glare right now and I can't see into the back of my whatever screen. Okay, anyway. It's been a while since I filmed, but I'm going to finally do a 3 looks 1 palette with the Oden's Eye Planet Spirit palette in collaboration with Betty Jean. Do you want to show do you want to see my new kitten? Yeah, she doesn't like to be held, and then I'll let her out of the room. But this is Lexapro, my new baby. She doesn't love to be held, so she's not happy right now. But she hasn't made an appearance on camera yet. Okay, you could go out if you want. Want to go out? And she wants out of the room. Okay, on to the palette. So I'm going to start with a black because this palette is very mid-toned and that is just what I want to do. So maybe I'll actually go in with a black from Oden's Eye. I'll use this matte black from the Giant Wolves palette in collaboration with Annette's Makeup Corner. And so I'm just going to take the shade Annihilation and stamp this in my outer corner, and then I'm going to bring it through my crease as well. I've primed my eyes with the Fenty Beauty eyeshadow primer. And I have not set the primer. Okay, so starting with the Planet Spirit palette, I'm going to start with the shade Sanctuary, which is this reddish pink. And I'm just going to go over the black and blend it out. Totally clean brush and blend the edges of this just to help blend it a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the shade Habitat, which is this bright orange, and blend the edges of this out. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of Sanctuary and then blend that out as well. I feel like Habitat was quite pigmented and kind of covered up a lot of it. So just going back in with Sanctuary, blending it all out. Okay, so for my lid, I'm going to take Animalia and Majestic. Animalia in the center and Majestic in the front part. I've been waiting to use these shimmers since I got this palette. I'm so excited. First, I'm going to take some NYX Glitter Primer and put this all over my lid. Starting with Animalia. Putting this in the center. And then taking Majestic in the front. What a beautiful shimmer combo. Oh, this shimmer is so pretty, you guys. Oh. Okay, then I'm just gonna go back and forth between Habitat and Animalia. Blend these shimmers together, even though they already go together really, really well. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of Sanctuary and blend this into Animalia from my outer corner. Take a little bit and run this over the front edge of my shadow. And then take a, oh wait, let me just wipe this brush off. Then take a touch of Habitat and really lightly run this over the very edge again, just to make sure that orange is still showing through. I'm going to take the slightest touch of Annihilation, which is the matte black, and use this to really deepen just the outer corners one more time, but not taking a ton of it, so I don't really need to. And then taking Animalia and Majestic on my fingers and intensifying these shades on my lid. Okay, so as you can probably tell, I don't have any, I have foundation on, but I don't have like any other base makeup. I'm going to take just a face cloth and a little bit of micellar water and use this to just make the edges of my shadow a little bit sharper. Just like that. And then I'm going to quickly hop off camera, finish up my base makeup and stuff, and then I'll be back to show you the lower lash line. Okay, so I did my base. Now I'm going to do my lower lash line. I'm gonna keep it consistent with my top lash line, you know. I love to do that. Okay, so I'm going to first take the black from the Giant Wolves palette and just place this along my lower lash line first, just like I did with my top lid. Okay, and then I'm going to take Sanctuary just with the same brush I used my top lid, which may be a mistake because it's a little big, but it's okay, and just go over it. And then I'm going to take Habitat and blend this out. Okay, my camera cut out, but I just blended Habitat underneath this eye as well, or underneath my eyes as well. And now to finish everything up, I'm going to take the shade Fauna. This is like an iridescent multi-chrome shade. Spray that so it sticks and put this in my inner corner. And I'm also going to take a touch of that and put that on my brow bone as well. And that is where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face and then I'll show you the finished look. Okay, and this is the finished look. I really, really love it. You know, if you watch me, you know how much I love warm tones, pinks, oranges. This is like my shit. I love how bright it is while keeping some depth because I use that black. Oh, this lip gloss is getting a little gloopy. But because the like pinky red and the orange are so saturated, it's like just so bright and beautiful. The shimmers are so beautiful. I am obsessed with this look, honestly. On my lips, I have the NYX lip liner in Espresso in the center and the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Cold Brew on the edges of my lips, and then the ColourPop So Juicy Gloss in the shade Lizzie. And that is all she wrote. So let's get into the second look. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the second look using the Planet Spirit palette from Oden's Eye. I'm going to do something, I want to try to do something really teal and focus on like these two tealy shades and play with this yellow as well, and kind of just see how it goes. So yeah, that's it. I think because the shade is a little bit lighter, I don't know, I kind of want to go in with a black as my second shade and first use the shade Kingdom in my outer corner and my crease, just to switch it up. So that is what I'm going to do. And I can't remember if I mentioned it in my last look, but I primed my eyes with the Fenty Beauty eyeshadow primer and I have not set my lids. So yeah, I'm just putting this through my outer corner, my crease. I'm going to do a half cut crease for this look, I think. This is the thing that I like about this shadow so far, is that I can like build it and build it and build it, and it is getting a little bit deeper and can intensify it, which I don't always find with Oden's Eye shadows, and is a very important quality for me with shadows in general. So I really, really, really appreciate that. And like I did in my last look, to keep, I can't even remember what shadow I used, but I'm going to use this black from the Christmas Eve palette, or no, Merry Christmas palette from Oden's Eye. I think I used the one from the Giant Wolves. Anyway, I'm sure their formulas are very similar. I'm going to mix this with the Kingdom shade. So this is just a different way, I guess, instead of using a black to stamp and use as like a first layer, you can mix the shadow with a black and use it to build it up. So that's just what I feel like doing today, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to mix mostly Kingdom and then take a little bit of this black shade. This is the shade Happy Ending, by the way. So I don't want it to be like super black. I want it to look like a blackened version of Kingdom. So I don't want to use too much black. I want to have it mostly be the shade Kingdom and then deepen it with the shade Happy Ending. So I'm just going to do that and try to deepen up my crease. And now I figured I would just continue to finish my crease with this same Kingdom shade and a white to act as like my blending out shade. I don't have a white from Oden's Eye. Actually, technically I do, because I did buy the like new palettes from them, but I haven't done a like video on them yet, so I'm not going to use it. But I'm going to use this white from the Beauty Bay Dark Fantasy palette, but literally any white shadow would do. So this is the shade Atmosphere. In the exact same way that I use this Kingdom shade with the black, I'm going to use mostly the Kingdom shade and mix it in with a little bit of white and use this to just diffuse the edges of my crease. So this is where my crease is at. I'm going to leave it here for now, and then if I need to blend more, I'll come back to it. Quickly going to cut my crease, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just cut my crease, and it's as even as it's ever going to be. So I'm going to take Kingdom, run this over the front part of my crease, just Kingdom by itself, and then take just Kingdom by itself and stamp this on to the edges where the concealer meets my outer corners. And then I'm going to take that same mixture of Kingdom and Happy Ending, the black, and re-intensify my outer corners with this. And then very gently run this over the very edge of where I cut my crease. I might have to go over that with just Kingdom by itself again. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with Kingdom and the mixture of Atmosphere, the white, and just run this one more time over the edge. Okay, so I'm going to put some NYX Glitter Primer all over the area where I cut my crease on my lid. And then I'm going to take the shade Familiar in the center of my lid and the shade Majestic in the front part. And then taking Majestic. Then I'm going to go back and forth between Familiar and Majestic, the two shimmers, and blend them together. And then take a little bit more of Kingdom and just to blend this into Familiar, just so it's not a harsh line between my outer corner and the shimmer. Okay, and then I'm going to take Familiar and Majestic on my fingers and intensify these on my lid. Okay, actually I might just take the black by itself and on a really small brush and just go right along the very, very edge of where I cut my crease. Okay, now I'm going to clean up this shape and do the rest of my base, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've done my base. Now I'm going to do my lower lash line. I was gonna do purple, but I always just love to do a monochromatic eye. So I think I'm going to just keep it the same as with my top lash line and do green. Or teal rather. So I'm going to take Kingdom again and just put this all underneath my eye and blend it out. And then I'm going to take that same mixture of Kingdom and Happy Ending, the black, and deepen my lower lash line. And then take that same mixture of Kingdom and Atmosphere, the white, and just blend the very edges. Then I'm going to take Fauna, the shade here, the iridescent pink, because it's the only one really that will work for my inner corner. I'm first going to give that a little spray though, plop her on, and then put a little bit of this on my brow bone as well. Okay, and lastly I'm going to take that black by itself and just take a very little amount of this and just really deepen my outer corners. Oh.
Is it on?
Oh, was what on?
The camera?
Just try to
No.
Oh.
Oh, actually it is.
What I had was
This is our cat. They deserve to know.
I think I've showed her once.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's like, why is this happening?
And this is where I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to finish up the rest of my face and show you the finished look. Okay, and this is the finished look. And I have to say, considering I only used technically one shadow from this palette that is like an actual color in my crease, it turned out pretty nice. So you can do a teal look, even though this palette leans very warm overall and leans very obviously like pinky purpley. You can still get this. And I thought, I prefer to use different variations of light, medium, and deep shades. Yes, I just feel like it gives a little bit more nuance to a look, but you can, if you have one mid-tone shade that you really like and a black and a white, do a gradient in that tone. So just keep that in mind. I think that this was like fun to do. And I think it shows the versatility as well that you can get out of this palette. So on my lips I have Make Up Forever, Endless Cacao, and Artist Color Pencil and Endless Cacao, and the NYX lip liner in Nude Truffle, which is just my favorite lip liner combination, and the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in the shade Nude Glow, which has become a fast favorite. I am honestly obsessed in a non-hyperbolic way about this. It is so good. It is so good and I love it so much. Okay, and let's get on to the third and final look. Okay, hello and welcome to the third and final look using the Oden's Eye Planet Spirit palette in collaboration with Betty Jean. I'm going to do something purpley, I think today. I have kind of a vision, so we'll see how it ends up going. First, I'm going to start with a black, and why not use a different Oden's Eye black? I'm going to use the shade Black Hole from the Solmana 2 palette. So I'm going to do kind of a rounded shape, so I'm just going to stamp this on my very outer corner and a little bit rounded into my crease, but not too high up. And I think I'll also probably take this a little bit onto my lower lash line, just in the outer part as well. Okay, and so my plan is now to take Sanctuary, which I use in my first look, this reddish pink, and place this on just like the outer, I guess, outer corner and like outer part of my eyes. So I'm going to stamp this over the black and then blend out the black with this shade just in like this kind of section. And then I'm going to take the shade Pride, this purple, and blend this through the front part of my upper and lower lash line. Upper lid, lower lash line. Oops. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Pride, the purple, and mix it with like this tiniest little bit of black, just so I can blend this little kind of section here, so it's not just like a harsh little line. And then I'm going to take the shade Rescue, this super bright pink, and I'm going to blend the shade all around my eye, blending out both the shade Sanctuary and Pride. So I'm taking this all the way around my eye. Okay, so now I'm going to take some NYX glitter primer and put this all over my lid. And then I'm going to take Kindred, this purple shimmer, and put this over top of the glitter primer. This shimmer is just okay to me. I used it in my first impressions, and now I am realizing that I should have done my highlight and blush first, but that's okay because it's too late. So it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to take some of Sanctuary, the reddish pink, and merge this between my outer corner and the shimmer. And then I'm going to take that mixture of Pride and a black and just gently run this over the edge. Beautiful. I'm really happy with how this is looking, honestly. And I'm going to take Kindred on my finger and intensify this on my lid. And then I'm going to take Fauna, which is the iridescent multi-chrome in this palette, on my finger and tap this over the center of the purple, just in the center of my eyelid. I'm going to take a little tiny touch of that black hole shade and put this, restamp this on my very outer corner, just to intensify it. Make sure there's no patchiness or anything. Maybe give that another little blend with the brush with Sanctuary. Before I go further, I think I'm going to quickly hop off camera and do blush and highlight. So I just did highlight and blush, and then I just blended Sanctuary a little bit out into it. I'm going to take a tiny touch more of Rescue, just blend everything out again. Blend it really into my blush, and then I'm going to take the shade Familiar, this green. I'm going to take this on a brush and give it a spray. And I'm going to put it right in the very inner part of my eye, or of my lower lash line. And then for my inner corners, I'm going to take the shade Majestic. I hope it's not going to be too deep for my inner corners, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm also going to spray this. Okay, and then I'm going to take Fauna on my brow bone. I've turned into a peacock very quickly, but I think with lashes and stuff it will come together. So I'm going to finish up the rest of my face and show you the finished look and conclude this video. Okay, and this is the finished look. I really like it. Colorful, really leaning into the pinks and purples of this palette, and I don't know, I feel like it again kind of encapsulates the color story of this palette. I really enjoy it. Let me actually see if it's still available. It is. Beautiful. It's still available. as of posting this video, which I am so happy that I was able to film this and really hopefully post it before this palette went out of stock. I, again, really like it. If I'm going to be honest, and this has absolutely nothing to do with Betty Jean as a creator or anything like that. I love Betty Jean, but this color story is probably like the least appealing to me as a color story because it's just a lot of really bright midtones, and while I obviously love colorful shadows, I just wish there was a little bit more depth. But I think I was able to create really beautiful looks with it. And if you pair it with a black, you can get depth. And I think that this palette has my favorite shimmers. I think these shimmers are so beautiful. The shade Kindred, this purple that's on my lid, isn't my favorite ever. It's kind of just like a regular metallic purple. But the shade Animalia is stunning. The shade Majestic is such a pretty yellow with pink sparkle to it. Familiar is beautiful. Fawn is a really beautiful iridescent multi-chrome. So I really, really love the shimmers in here. I love the shade Sanctuary. It's so beautiful. So I do enjoy this palette, but it's not my favorite color story necessarily. But if you are a person that likes one and done shadow looks with mattes or shimmers, or are looking for like a relatively kind of like mid-range price summer palette, I think this is really, really nice. I overall really like this collection, but I don't feel like it has the exact same, there's quality as some of like Oden's previous releases. Again, obviously nothing to do with the creators at all. They, I don't think, have any say in formulation of shadows, but I don't know, there's just like something that I can't quite put my finger on that is not exactly one-to-one with like the original Legendary Diversa collection, for example. However, still really nice. You can see all of these shadows that I use in this video blended beautifully, and I was actually very happy with how these shades built on themselves and blended, and I really, really enjoyed using it, and I really loved all three of the looks that I made. Let me know if you have this palette, if you're interested in this palette, which look was your favorite. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I would love to see you in my next one. Bye.